Hi, it's Quinby, and this week I'll be taking a look at the third book in the Dark Photography folio. It's called Mouth of the Muse, and it's by Swinn Daniels. Before I get into it, please like and subscribe. After all, a girl can't live off love and fresh air, now can she? Mouth of the Muse takes us backwards and forwards in time, so that we finally begin to learn more about the events that form these wonderful characters. We learn about Saxon's infamous Airstream photo shoot, and what happened to his friend, Cowboy. We also discover more about Persephone and where she got her skills. And speaking of Persephone, did I mention we get to ride along with her and Saxon when they take a very spicy trip to Burning Man? Here's a sample. Saxon slowed as they approached the house, to take in the scene before him. He reached for his camera and was surprised when Mason gripped his arm and shook his head. Then he pointed at the man coming towards them. He don't look like the sort that'd take kindly to a stranger taking pictures without permission. Point. Saxon relinquished the camera and got out of the car. The man who strode towards him cast a shadow that seemed somehow disproportionately long. He was older but moved like a man of 30, loose-limbed, slouchy, the axe handle over one shoulder, not threatening in the least. The man stopped before him, and Saxon could smell his more than slightly rancid sweat, like an unwashed panther cage. You take a wrong turn? Actually, no. You sellin' something? No. Then you must be just another gawker. The man swung the axe handle off his shoulder and tapped it into his other hand. He looked to be on the verge of a decision. His muscles subtly shifted, and Saxon felt his own body flow into combat readiness. He's going to swing for the windshield. Then the man looked over Saxon's shoulder at the RV, at the two girls emerging from it, and everything changed. He relaxed. He smiled. Now ain't that a sight? I'm a photographer. I'm down here shooting for my portfolio. An artist. Yes. The man extended his hand. Laban Gutschall. Saxon Payne. Christ, he's got a grip. Laban released Saxon's hand, Saxon well aware that he'd just been tested. We don't get many strangers around these parts. I don't imagine you do. I guess we'll be on our way then. Laban looked disappointed. You gonna give up that easy? I don't understand. Ludi, Laban bellowed. Get over here. They all waited as a young girl came towards them from the house. She wore a threadbare shift and no shoes. She only had one eye, in the center of her forehead. Oh my God, am I hallucinating? But as the girl came closer, Saxon saw that he was not. I have to shoot her. He found himself staring, though he tried hard not to. He finally gave up. He felt the girl had the same effect on everyone around him, except her father. The girl stood by Laban's side and stared at Saxon with equal fascination. Now I understand why they don't have many visitors. Who are you? Asked Ludi. This is Saxon, honey. He wants to take your picture. Why? She looked at the photographer with suspicion. Because there's only one of you in the whole wide world, Saxon replied. Laban frowned. Not quite the answer you were expecting, was it, you dangerous old bastard? The girl grinned. Really? For Saxon, it was like seeing a time-lapse of a rose explode into blossom. It was obvious no one had ever presented her with this possibility. The effect of her eye was hypnotic. It's so blue, and she has no idea. Yes, really. Saxon stepped forward slowly. He felt Laban tense. Ludi did not retreat. Instead, her eye never leaving his, she came forward hesitantly to meet him. He extended his hand. After a moment, she took it. Good grip on you, Ludi. Saxon Payne. She took this in and then said formally, Ludi Gutschall. Saxon's eyes found Laban's. I would very much like to photograph you and your family. Would that be possible? Depends, said Laban, considering. So we be like models? You would. Models get paid, don't they? They do. So what are you offering? How does $1,000 sound? Laban laughed. He had seen how Saxon had looked at Ludi. That's an insult, boy, and you know it. It's like you said. There's nothing in the whole world like me and mine. The axe handle slapped into his palm again. The gesture so unconscious he wasn't even aware of it. That's when I'd hit you. Just before you smack your hand with that piece of wood, flashed through Saxon's mind. 10,000. Ludi gasped. Saxon saw Laban's hand twitch. He was going to hit her. Only us being here stopped him. That and his greed. Keep your cool, Saxon. Hush now, Ludi. Your pa's talking. Yes, Papa, she said meekly. You got that in cash? I don't take no credit cards. Laban laughed at his own wit. Christ, he stinks. Like rotten meat. But Ludi doesn't. I do, said Saxon. Well, go and get it, boy. Saxon left the house and made his way to the RV. He stepped inside and went to his suitcase, where he opened the custom panel, took out an envelope, and extracted half the bills. I would have gone to 20, but there's no need for you to know that, is there, you fucking redneck? He put the envelope back, saw the light gleam off edged metal, thought about bringing the karambit, then rejected the idea. His old master had told him something once that he'd never forgotten. The pen is mightier than the sword, but what is written with the sword cannot be erased. He left the hook knife where it lay. When he returned to the house, Laban was trying to butter up the girls. Mason was crouched in front of Ludi, hands on his thighs. We saw this beautiful chicken when we drove in. Never seen a bird like it, the cowboy said to her. That's Miss Gertrude. She's my pet Buff Orpington. Mason raised an eyebrow to Saxon, then looked back at the one-eyed girl. Now what the hell is a Buff Orpington? She's a showbird, said Ludi proudly. All butterscotch feathers. She took so long to breed. This was obviously a topic of some interest to the child. She's just like an ordinary kid, except for... Jesus, how it keeps coming back to that eye. Saxon began counting out bills into Laban's waiting hand. When he was done, Laban licked his thumb, then counted them again, as if one or two might have magically taken wing. He waved the wad of bills. Guess this buys you dinner. And not no regular chicken, no sir. I think we got us some Buff Orpington on the menu tonight. Saxon assumed Laban had just made a bad joke. One look at Ludi told him this was not the case. Papa, no. These are special visitors. Gotta feed 'em our best. Guess right is a code I live by. Can't we eat another chicken? There's plenty of them. Miss Gertrude is my friend. Can't get attached to no animal. I done told you that 1,000 times now, didn't I? But you can't? You arguing with your pa now? No, sir. Didn't think so. Now you round up that bird and I'll go get my axe. Ludi started to cry. The words had left Saxon's mouth before he knew it. I'll take the bird, too. What? How much? It's a prize chicken. Saxon sighed. Does 200 seem fair? Make it 5 and you got yourself a deal. Saxon pulled out his wallet and gave Laban another 500. Laban pocketed the money with a grin, then hooked his thumb. Why don't you get started with them two on the porch? Me and the rest of your crew will set to preparing dinner. Sound good? Well, we certainly have traveled far from the original book. And I, for one, am very glad we did. You will find yourself transported to magical locations, to be immersed in action and consequence to such a degree you forget you're reading. It's more like experiencing a movie with your mind as the screen. It's so intoxicating, you may forget you have a day-to-day life you have to attend to. Or maybe just put all that on hold, at least until you finish the book. That's it for this week. This is Quinn B. Delicious signing off. See you in the next video.